Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about something most founders push to the back of their minds, the end of their business. I know, it sounds a little weird, right? But what if I told you that thinking about your final chapter on day one is actually one of the smartest things you could ever do? Look, every entrepreneur is obsessed with the start, the launch, getting that first customer, seeing that initial growth. It's an incredible rush. But we almost never talk about the end. Every business story has a beginning and a middle, but it also has a final chapter. What if planning for that end is the secret to making the beginning and the middle so much better?
All right, so the first thing we got to do is completely flip the script on how we think about an exit. This isn't about failing or giving up, not at all. It's about being smart enough to design your business with a clear destination in mind right from the get-go.
Okay, so what are we even talking about when we say exit strategy? Let's be clear. It is a strategic plan. It's an intentional, thought-out process for you, the owner, to transition out of the business. Maybe that's selling to another company, maybe it's something else. The point is, it's about being in control, not about reacting to a catastrophe. The usual thinking goes something like, I'll worry about that way down the road. I've got to build this thing first. But honestly, that's a trap. We're going to see exactly why your exit plan isn't some distant problem, but an incredibly powerful tool you can start using today to make smarter decisions. And that right there, that's what we call the founder's blind spot. You pour so much energy, so much focus into just getting the business off the ground that you get this intense tunnel vision, and that can make it almost impossible to see the finish line. This really comes down to a crucial difference in mindset. On one hand, you've got the startup mentality. It's all about the now. Launch the product, get quick growth, just survive day to day. It's totally reactive. But the founder mentality, that's playing the long game. It's about building with purpose, creating a legacy, and, you guessed it, having a planned exit. One is a frantic sprint. The other is a marathon you're running with a map. So here's a thought. What if we've been coming at this from the completely wrong direction? What if the blueprint for a great ending isn't something you draw up when you're tired and ready to leave, but something you uncover right at the very start? Okay, this next part is the real game changer. It comes from this simple but honestly mind-blowing piece of wisdom from a guy named Professor Mucci, and trust me, it changes everything. Now look really, really closely at this sentence. Notice something missing? There's no comma. There's no question mark. It's not two separate ideas. It's a single command. Have an exit strategy. Why did you start this business? The professor isn't asking you to do two things. He's telling you they are the same thing.
You see, the whole point is that these two ideas aren't separate thoughts. They are welded together. Your exit strategy isn't some side project. It is the natural, logical outcome of why you started in the first place. The why you began literally dictates the how you should finish. They're two sides of the very same coin.
Okay, so that's the big idea. But how do you actually use it? Well, let's get practical and connect your personal why, your real motivation, directly to a strategy you can actually build. It's actually a pretty simple three-step process you can do right now. First, you have to get real with yourself and ask, why did I really start this whole thing? Second, boil that down to your core motivation. Was it about money, freedom, solving a huge problem? And third, you take that motivation and you build an exit plan that honors it. And this is where it all clicks into place. Let's look at some real examples, right? Say your why is all about financial freedom. Well then, your path is pretty clear. Your exit is to sell to the highest bidder, period. But what if your why was to build a family legacy? Well, selling to some random corporation might feel like a total failure. Your exit then becomes about succession, passing it to your kids or selling to the employees who helped you build it. Or maybe you started this thing to solve a massive problem. In that case, maybe the best exit is merging with a huge company that can take your solution to millions of people. You see? Your why becomes the filter for every big decision you make. And that's really the heart of it all. That reason you started your business, that's not just some cute story you tell. It's your compass. It's the thing that should guide every single decision, from who you hire to what you build, all the way to your final destination. So, I want to leave you with this one last question to chew on. Every business story is going to have a final chapter. There's no escaping that. The only question is it going to be a chapter that just happens to you, or is it one you're going to write yourself, on purpose, right from page one?